Hello people, this is Sonali, the Melodramatic Bookworm. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to the Melodramatic Bookworm family. I'm here today to talk about 10 books that I think I am going to love and that I'm going to rate a full 5 out of 5 stars. This 5-star prediction kind of video thing I think was started by Kayla from Booksandlala. I'm not really sure, but over the years and over the months and over the days, I have seen a lot of other creators do this as well, and I thought, why not? Because I want to see if I can predict my own reading taste well, because sometimes it's all over the place, and if I will end up loving the books that I think I will love. Now that I'm doing this video, I will do a follow-up video to this as well, talking about whether or not I ended up rating all of them 5 stars, but that would be after I finish reading all of them, of course. So yeah, since there are 10 books in this video, without any further ado, let's dive right into it, and let me share with you the 10 books that I think I am going to rate a full 5 out of 5 stars. First up is a book that I think I'm going to read very soon, and that is In the Language of Remembering by Aanchal Malhotra. And in this book, as a continuation of Remnants of a Separation that she wrote and which I absolutely loved, she talks about how partition is not exactly a thing of the past. It's still there today. The effects of the partition are still there today, and you know how I've been gushing over Aanchal Malhotra ever since I read it last year, and I love her writing, and I really do think that this is going to be one book that I'm going to rate a full 5 out of 5 stars, and it's a chunker, but I'll take my time reading it, and I know that this is a book that is going to affect me as much as Remnants of a Separation did, if not more. Next is a book that I don't have the physical copy of yet because the paperback has not yet released in India, and that is All My Rage by Sabaa Tahir. The name Sabaa Tahir should tell you that it's an automatic 5 out of 5 stars, because I read the Ember series, I cried, I had a lot of fun reading it, I cried, I enjoyed the story, I loved the characters, I cried. You see the pattern, right? I love that series to no end, and I love Sabaa Tahir's writing, and I think that this YA novel, it's sort of set in 2 timelines, if I'm not mistaken, and it talks about love and forgiveness and coming to terms with one's situation and doing something about it, and I'm 100% sure that I'm going to rate this book a full 5 out of 5 stars. All My Rage, please come home soon. Next is a book about books, and I think this is an autobiography, I'm not really sure, but the book is called 84 Charing Cross Road by Helene Hanff, and this is told in an epistolary format between Helene Hanff and a seller of rare second-hand books on 84 Charing Cross Road, and how their correspondence goes, what it entails, what details they share with each other. Everything is promised in this book, and I really do think that I will love this with all of my heart. I've seen this book recommended everywhere. Like, it wasn't on Bookstagram as much, but I've seen a resurgence of it, or emergence of it, if you could call it, recently, and I had the sudden urge to think, why haven't I already bought this book, why haven't I already read it? But the premise gives me such Guernsey literary and potato peel pie society vibes, sans the island, and there's books, there's letters, and there's so much more in here, and I couldn't not. Next is a book by an author who I've fallen irrevocably in love with, and I'm not going to gush about that book that I've been gushing about throughout the videos this month, but the book I'm talking about is The Lowland by Jhumpa Lahiri. This is the story of 2 brothers who become estranged. One of them moves to America for a better life, and when something happens to his brother in the lowland outside the house, he comes back, and how everything progresses from there forms this story. The premise of brotherhood and siblings doing this for each other is enough to make me want to read a book, but the actual attraction for me in this book is the author, Jhumpa Lahiri. I don't think I would have prioritized this book if not for her, for this video at least. And now I know that I am going to go ahead and read it, and I have a very strong feeling that this is going to be a full 5-star read for me, and I cannot wait to dive into this book. Oh, Jhumpa Lahiri, I'm coming. The next two books are the second and third in a series that I started early this or late last year, if you could call it. And I'm still salty about certain details, but let's not go there. I've already whined a lot about it. The books are The Dragon Republic, which is the second in the Poppy War series, and The Burning God, which is the third in the Poppy War series. And yes, do you see why I'm pissed? Yeah, I mean, these two books I wanted to have already read by now, but I wasn't able to because of the whole reading slump that I was in. But I really want to get into this series again, and I want to know what happens to the characters from the Poppy War, because, or despite knowing that these two books are going to wreck me, because I've heard so many things said across social media about these two books that it's one of the most wrecking series in the history of series. And what do you know? I love a good series that will wreck me, and books that make me emotional, you know, I have a higher affinity to them. So I have a gut feeling, that instinct that tells me that these two are books that I am going to rate a full 5 out of 5 stars. Next is another book by another favorite author, and that author is Elizabeth Gilbert, and the book I'm talking about is Big Magic: Creative Living Beyond Fear. This is a non-fiction in which Elizabeth Gilbert talks about creativity and how to harness the power of creativity. And especially since it's Elizabeth Gilbert talking, I am all ears. I'm going to I know I'm going to hang on to every word that she is saying in this book, and I have a feeling that this is going to help me, especially since my creativity has been dangling off a cliff for as long as I can remember. But this is one book that I definitely think that I'm going to rate a full 5 stars, because I know that there's going to be so much value in here. Next up is the BAP of all traumatic books, and that is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. And I don't think I have to say anything about this book, and I don't want to know anything about this book or either, except for what I have seen. I've seen people lose it. I've seen people absolutely lose their minds over this book on video, and I was like, what is this going to do to me? And as you know, I love emotional books. I love books that make me feel things. I love books that make me think, and I love books that make me cry. It's a melodramatic bookworm thing. I don't know when that happened. I don't know why that happened, but I'm not complaining. As long as a book is doing all of that, I will love it with everything I have. I will love it fiercely, and I have a feeling that this is going to be a book that I will rate 5 stars. I do know that there are some trigger warnings that I have to keep in mind before I get in to this book, and I will do that. I'm also planning a reading vlog for this, by the way, so be prepared to watch a lot of footage of me bawling. Did I think this through? Maybe. Next up is Hellfire by Lisa Ghazi. This was gifted to me by a friend, and she thought that I would really love this, and even I think so, that I'm going to really love this book. I think this is about a woman who is held captive, and then she gets out of the house after a long time in captivity. And this sounds really gut-wrenching, and I really want to read and find out what exactly this book is all about. I have seen a couple of people whose reviews I trust, by the way. I've seen them say that this book is okay, but I really think that with the kind of cover that it has and with the kind of premise that it has, it's going to touch a chord deep within me. Last but not the least is Firekeepers Daughter by Angeline Boley. I've seen people absolutely love this book and recommend it with everything they have, and the premise itself is so so solid and so powerful it's in itself. And this is the story of a teenager, an 18-year-old girl who witnesses a murder in her, I think it's in her Ojibwe community, and now I think she has to help the police or something and show that she is the strong woman that she is. The premise is amazing, and I really do think that I will end up loving this. I actually had thought this is a YA novel of sorts. Maybe it is in its own way, but it's such a mixture of different genres that I'm really looking forward to it. And if this manages to surprise me, and if this manages to make me feel, and if this manages to wow me, then of course it's going to be a 5-star read. So yeah, this is the last of my 5-star predictions for 2022. So those are all the books that I think I am going to read and enjoy and rate a full 5 out of 5 stars. What did you think of this video? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Which of these books have you read? Which ones do you want me to prioritize? Which ones of these do you think that you will love if you haven't read them already? Which are your 5-star predictions, and which books are some of your favorite reads of all time? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, please like it and share it to spread the word. And if you like my content and would like to see more from me, don't forget to hit subscribe and click on the bell icon beside the subscribe button to get notified as and when I post new videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, keep reading, keep watching, and add melodrama to your life.